How come he's there and I am here? I thought the entire world was in a cattle car. So that's one part. Now, I grew up in an Orthodox home, and we were Orthodox, as religious as should be. And I went to Hebrew school, and I went to a Jewish school. So as far as religion, it was practiced day in, day out. So that part was fine. Now, once in the camp, I would lie to you if I would say that we never thought about our faith, where and why. But fortunately, I had enough Judaism taught to me. I can't give you an explicit answer, but I have faith today. I remember other reason. There are so many things that happened to me post-war that is unexplainable. Okay? So there is a God, and we should believe, and I'm not a preacher here, but I believe. Okay. All right. Nobody, okay, there's somebody there. All right, let's hear. Oh, the rabbi, come closer.
Have you returned?
Oh, closer to the mic.
Have you returned at all to Hungary since the war?
Yes, I have.
And what are your thoughts about the current situation in Hungary? I understand that there's a lot of anti-Semitism today. I read recently a story of a young man who was involved in the Nazi party, and now he realized that he himself was Jewish. If you can talk to that a little bit.
Well, first of all, I have this kind of information as you do, because the last I was in Hungary about 3-4 years ago. Hungary has a extreme right-wing government that gained power last spring, and they wanted the Jews to register like in the olden days, and the Jewish community is resenting it, and they're fighting it. And at the very present time, I heard that, you know, we had our memorial, as far as Hungary goes, the 70th anniversary. And the Hungarian government was planning in the winter to erect a memorial glorifying the Hungarians, that they were, everything was done by the Germans, that the Hungarians didn't do anything. So the Hungarian Jewish community stood up, and they had a march. They put on the yellow star, and if any of you were in Hungary, there is a memorial that it's called the Shoe Memorial. It is placed at the pier of the Danube, and this represents a group of people out of Budapest. See, here I have to give you a little, I never give a one-sentence answer. But for your information, what has happened, we from the outlying areas were deported to Auschwitz. The region of Hungary was given a warning from Churchill and the Pope to stop the deportation, and by July the deportation stopped. So all the people in Budapest proper remained in Budapest. So they have it differently. What happens at the fall of 44, an extreme Nazi fascist leader gets into power, and from October to January, he does all the atrocities that you could imagine. Among them, they would take a group of Jewish people, march them to the Danube, tie them up with a wire, 10 of them, and shoot one bullet into them. And they would fall into the Danube and suffocate and die. So in memorial, an artist about 2005 created this shoe exhibit, because they made them take their shoes off so they can use the shoes for other people. So anyhow, all these things were taking place. So now the people, a month ago, marched up to this memorial, and they said the Kaddish prayers, and they they had lots of memorial remembrance. So there's some degree of resistance. But unfortunately, there are always bad guys. Yes?
I'll speak up so the whole room can hear. Can you describe your thoughts at every stage, every law that came that was worse and worse and worse? Where at every stage, did you think it would end there? Because I wonder what came of the rebellions. There must have been some rebellion going to the ghetto, going to the car, going... And I wonder, did people think that would be the worst at every stage?
Very much so. First of all, now you have to see the picture as a 17-year-old girl. Okay? The mentality is different. The analyzing of issues is different. I mean, at the 17, yes, I saw all these problems, but I am dealing as a 17-year-old, so I cannot give you a direct answer. But all these laws, there were a little bit of resistance, but to no avail, unfortunately, because it was so strongly and smartly coordinated. I hate to use that word. It was so perfect that the police was so alerted. And what other thing that happened, let's say you lived in an apartment building, maybe 30 tenants, and they would have a caretaker living on the premises. Well, that person knew everything about you. And that person could be a perfect link to the police. Okay? So there were a lot of people who thought that they were doing good for the government and reporting the so-called bad guys. So that's why I really cannot give you an explicit answer on this. But it was bad. It was bad in so many aspects. Yes?
You suffered so much. What was the thing that kept you going forward in a way of feeling hope?
Okay. In the human behavior, there is a certain will to want to live. I mean, that's in you. You have it, you want it. But mostly, I had the faith. I believe that God will help me. But it's remarkable. I mean, you're under such conditions, but you're already thinking that, you're fantasizing how you could live. And somehow it works. You just don't give up. That's the trick. It's very easy to give up. But, have a positive attitude in life. Yeah.
How did you, when you said that the post-war was very, very difficult because you realize you're an orphan, and how did you, I know it's not an easy answer, but how did you rebuild? Like, what helped you move on to the next stage of your life?
Okay, what made me keep on going when I'm all alone? Well, you see, during the day, you are busy dealing with the everyday existence. What to do next to make my life a little better. First thing after liberation, all your emotions are put to rest because your body is in need of food. So the only thing you do is just you want to eat. You want to eat. I mean, unimaginable things, especially the dieters here. We would get a thick slice of bread. I swear to you, it could have been an inch and a half thick. The butter was as thick on top of it. And if that wasn't good enough, we would pour honey on. I will not tell you the result of the tummy ache, but that's how hungry we were. So first you deal with stuffing yourself. Second, now again, these are all young girls. We had that one stinking, smelly rag on our back. What does a young girl want? Another clothing. So here is another episode in my life that is unique. We are housed in this German village, and the American authorities dealt with the mayors of the town to allocate a room in each home for us. So now here are a bunch of girls, and they decide they're gonna go into some of the deserted homes and secure some stuff. I went one time. I went one time, and all of a sudden I was left alone in the bedroom as the other girls were searching. And I opened up the linen closet, and I froze. Because the sheets were stacked up, ironed beautifully, with a ribbon across it, just like my mother used to do it. I couldn't do it. I absolutely could not do it. I walked out without anything. I never ever, they asked me, wanna go get shoes or whatever. No. So there were all these things, trying to get clothing. And then it was just